Hello, welcome to Win Some Loosemore. My name is Dieter and you join me for a Why I Like, a series of videos where I take you through some of the games in our collection and tell you why I like them. Today I'll be telling you why I like Maquis. Maquis is a solo worker placement game where you take control of the French resistance during World War II, trying to fight back against the Nazi occupation of France. Didn't know solo worker placements existed, was excited to try it. Let's see how it works. I'll tell you why I like it. So here I've set up the game. We have a game board in the middle with 3 of our workers, resistance workers, starting on there and 2 off to the side. There are the blue patrols and then the red soldiers, which may appear during the game. At the top of the board I have selected 2 of the missions that determine whether you complete the game or not. There's a whole stack of these, either 1 star, the simple ones, or the 2 star. The more difficult ones, there's a good amount of these, so it'll be different every time. I tend to just randomly deal them out. On the board is lots of locations. Some of them are empty and you get to add specific ones that you need later in the game. Pile of resources, a pile of markers just to show when you've done stuff. Down the side of the board is the day track. If your cube comes to the end here, you've lost the game. And every time you complete a round, it's a day and it moves further and down and down. And off to the side is a second track, one with morale, which determines firstly the morale, and if that ever reaches 0 you lose, and how many of these patrols will come out in a day. And then there is a little soldier track. There is the option in the game to shoot your way out of a situation and kill some of the patrols. Every time you do that though, the soldiers will increase as they go along and you can't shoot them. There's a nice little play array just to explain all the symbology, which is nice and clear. But the gameplay is very simple and I'll take you through that. You take it in turns between you placing workers and the patrol deck putting out patrols to try and achieve what you're doing. So let's say this is one of our missions. It says, so it's called Sabotage. It's one of the 1-star ones. The occupation runs munitions factory on the outskirts of town. Infiltrate and sabotage the operation by any means possible. So to do this, a worker must infiltrate the factory twice, then return a 3rd day to deliver explosives. So there are 3 spaces on here, so they are worker placement places. And the 3rd one requires us to have explosives. And the only way for us to get explosives is to have built a chemist lab, which allows us to turn medicine into explosives for some reason. So let's start building that up. I want to build a spare room. I need 2 lots of monies, and to get explosives I need medicine. So I'm going to go to the doctor. That's where I want to go. So I'm going to place a worker on doctor. So that's my turn done. Now what we do is we flip the top card from the patrol deck. Now this will show 3 locations: Radio A, Rubaradat and Grocer. Different on each of the cards. And the first available place, so in this case Radio A, we put a patrol. Number of patrols is always determined by the higher number of either your workers available or the number of patrols on the board. Either way, it starts at 3. And I am going to go to the grocer because I want some food. The patrol is going to take Pont l'Evêque. Now this is a bad thing for me generally. My workers, to be able to complete their actions, typically need to be able to trace a line. You see all these white lines connecting the locations. They need to trace a line all the way back to the safe house to complete it. There are a couple of exceptions, like on these cards. You see this symbol here, the orange shield with a star in, and the building a spare room place also has that. Those will be completed regardless of whether they are caught or not, but typically, let's see first, if they can't get back, they must be arrested or try to shoot their way out. I am going to... What do I want to do? Let's risk Radio B, because I want to do an airdrop. And they are going to the grocer, but they can't. I'm already there, so they're going to the poor district. This is very bad for me. I've played this pretty badly, but more for example's sake. So now in turn, that's all my workers that I have available. I can gain more if I go to the cafe and spend food, but I didn't. I choose my workers to resolve, so I'm going to resolve the grocer first. Oops, he gains a food and he can track his way back, so I bring him back, and so I gain that food. Radio B, I want to do an airdrop. When you do an airdrop, it says here, add 1 money or 1 weapon or 3 food onto an empty field. There are 2 fields. You can never get caught going to a field or the cafe. What do I want? I want some money, because I need the money to buy the spare room. So I'm going to put that there. And he can, yes, track all his way back here. And the doctor cannot track his way back. So in theory, according to the rules, I produce the medicine, but I don't keep it until he comes home. And actually I can see he can't come this way because he'd get caught this way, and he can't come this way because so this man gets arrested, or woman, that worker gets arrested, and that is the end of that day. I don't gain the money straight away. It's sat in a field from an airdrop. So it's now day 2. I've only got 2 workers this time. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the cafe, and they're going to Radio B, and I'm going to the field, and they are, oops, going to the grocer. Now, I've done as many patrols as I have workers, but it's the highest number, and this track, if I just show you here, the morale track has 2 numbers on it. The morale, so start, is actually 6, and then the red number in the corner is how many patrols. So although I've placed all my people, they still get to have an extra patrol. Radio B, there's already somebody there. Grocer, there's somebody already there. So they are going to the black market. So we resolve. I'm actually going to spend to get this, and he is going to bring home the monies, and on we go. That is very simply what it is. Every time I would send somebody here, so let's say I'm going to try and fill this one. I'm just going to show you one more round to give you the example. The fence, well, he's going to be caught, but that's okay. Oh no, not placing that one. Let's go to the grocer again. They're going to Pont du Nord, so that would be locked off as well. And oops, that's cheating. Where was I going to go? Let's risk Radio B again, and they are going to Radio A. That's good. So again, that's 3. I get the food at the grocer, he comes home, so I keep it. This one, because it's got the shield, he does complete, but he can't track, so he gets arrested. But to show that I've done it once, I put one of these yellow markers on. And Radio B, I'm going to call in some more money because I need money, and he manages to make it back. When the cube for the days ever gets onto one of these orange spaces, that knocks down the morale. And so you see, it's very simple, back and forth, placing out my workers. If ever I run out, they've all been arrested, I lose. If ever my time runs out, I lose. If morale goes all the way down, I lose. And that is very simply, if you complete all of this, how you play Maquis. So why do I like Maquis? I'll start with how I usually do. The aesthetic is beautiful. It's again a different style to what I've seen before, but it's one that really just stands out to me. I don't know if it's cell shading, I don't know if that's the right term, but it just looks really cool. It's an art style that I've thoroughly enjoyed, Kirsty's really enjoyed. And beyond the look of the thing, the mechanics really work. It, on the face of it, looks a bit random with those turn of the cards to see where the bad guys go, where the patrols go. At first you're like, oh, well, I could play perfectly and it go badly. And there's a small element of that. It could just so happen that the cards that are flipped over are exactly where you've been every time, and so all your people get arrested. That could happen. But it's also about knowing where they're likely to go, what's already been discarded, what is likely to come up next, where else could you build this path so that actually they don't they can't get you because you've already gone there and blocked off these places. So it's a balance, I think, between, yes, the random draw, but actually knowing that draw and trying to figure out where to go. There are so many different missions of different difficulties within the box that there's a lot of replayability here. It works really well. It's a small little package. It's a good sized little box I take around with me in my backpack sometimes, just to sit down and play a quick game. It only takes about 20 minutes. What does the box say? 30 minutes. I'm not that good, so it usually takes about 20 minutes. I've done a playthrough, so if you hit the little bell, not the bell, the lie that should have appeared in the top corner, it should show you the playthrough. I lose partway through. I make a mistake with the rules, so don't use that to learn. But if you're looking for a little solo game, if you're looking for worker placement, that's something you enjoy, this is a really good one. Visually engaging, the ramp up of tension as the days go on, your morales go down, the patrols go up, that it just works really well. It goes together. There's enough theme in there to make it really interesting. It's fun. That's the core of it. That's what these videos are all about, trying to show you fun games. If you're looking for a solo game, I think this is a really good one for a quick, light worker placement style game. That's why I like Maquis. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, do consider subscribing to the channel and hit the bell icon so you stay updated when we put out new content. You can follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the usual places. Just search Win Some Loosemore, you will find us. I hope to see you again on the next one. I have been Dieter for Win Some Loosemore. Goodbye.